Hey everybody, Adam with High Desert Hollow here. Welcome back to our installing the window for the kitchen remodel part 2. It's been a little while since the first video came out, and I actually wasn't going to show this because I had some major technical errors with the camera and the footage, and I lost a bunch of stuff. But I've had enough people asking for, well, what happened to the second half of the window series, so this is what we got. So basically, the window's in. I'm going to show you what I've got for the video series, for the video footage that I didn't lose and didn't go bad on me. And then I'll be back to kind of just give a quick wrap-up. So watch this and we'll go from there. All right, everybody. So we've got the surface all prepped. I've got the opening ready to go. What now I'm going to do is I'm going to take some silicone caulk, go around the outside. That way when I set the window in, it all seals it up, and then I'll come back through and put screws around the outside edge. Alright, so what I've got is I've got that bead of silicone all the way around the outside with no breaks in it, and then I put another bead right on the inside, so when the window goes in, it just gives it a little bit more sealing, and then what I'll do is when it's before we're done, I'll come back with some, when I finish everything, with some paintable caulk to fill the gap, and the little gap that's in between the window and the front. Okay, we've got it centered in. We've got a couple screws in holding it. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through and put a screw in all the holes all the way around and make sure it's fastened in there. And we'll be good to go for now until we get done getting ready to do our trim work. So, yeah, we're pretty happy, pretty excited. All right, there it is. We've got it all set in. Got screws fastened all the way around. I've got good silicone. I know I've got a good amount of silicone all the way around. It's got it seeping out the sides. Now all I got to do is come back. We're going to re-insulate around some of the existing rough-in lumber and go from there. So we're getting ready to insulate around the rough-in material that we roughed in around for the window, just to eliminate any air gaps and make it so it's just more energy efficient. What I'm going to be using is a can of expanding foam insulation. Got to be a little bit careful with this because if it doesn't have any place to go, it'll actually collapse in on your window space and make. But here I've got plenty of room for it to come out, and you only fill it about half full, and then it'll expand out the rest of the way. So what I'm going to do, get up a little higher here, maybe. Yeah. So what we're going to do is you just got a nozzle on there, and you get it kind of in there where you want it to go. Give it a shoot, fill in that gap a little bit. What it's going to do, it's going to start pushing out a little bit. And it'll expand out to the point that I'll end up having to trim some of it out of there. But that's just filling in that gap. Make it so more energy efficient. So another thing you want to be real careful with this insulation is when it's in its wet form the way it is now as it comes out of the can, you don't want to touch it. It'll get on your hands. It does not wash off. It will ruin clothes. You just got to be super careful with it. Like in this situation, I had that piece just rolled down. I'm going to let that sit there. I will not touch it till it dries, because once it's dried, I'll be able to kind of pluck it off and kind of scrape it off. It comes right off. But if I was to touch that when it's wet, it is just more mess than it's worth to handle. All right, as you guys saw, I got the window in, got it all insulated in really well. The silicone, it's all siliconed in. Everything's sealed up really, really well. What I lost was putting in the trim work and all the finish work and the painting and stuff like that. Basically, all I did for that is where I'm dealing with big, thick, massive rock walls, my trim work is basically 2x6s on top and bottom that I had to rip down just a little bit, and 2x4s on the side that I ripped down. And just did it in a cottage style trim type setup, and then I caulked around it and got it all painted. I think it turned out really well. I do have to do a little bit of touch-up work. I'm looking for a rock to replace up high there, and I still need to move this post out of the way. It's right in the middle of the window. I need to put a sonotube out here with a concrete anchor and extend the whole patio out just a little bit. It's going to be down the road. It's not super critical. I got the house sealed up. I got the window done, which is the most important part. But yeah, so we're still continuing with the kitchen remodel. I've got most of the rock wall done. Working on getting ready to get the kitchen stove put in. That part of the process coming up too. But anyways, in the meantime, we're just here trying to live a more self-reliant lifestyle and promote modern homesteading. Adam with High Desert Hollow, signing out.